actor, comedian, atheist, Nobel Peace Prize winner. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, but you spilled the Stockholm secret right at the top. But yeah. we'll pretend you didn't say it.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, man. We are being held hostage by both parties. They are taking us to the same damn place.
But you're buying into it. You're not part of the solution, Glenn. You're part of the problem.
Then help me. Help.
You're giving them that there's only these two choices.
Oh, no.
All of the American people have to decide is they want a different choice and someone else can win.
Penn.
Nowhere in the rules does it say it has to be one of those two.
Penn, I will tell you now. I mean, Jesus could come back before November, so I'm not making any promises. But I would bet almost everything I have at this point, there's no way I'm going to vote for one of these two clowns. And I am going to vote. I will find a third party. But I haven't found my guy yet. Have you?
Well, you know, Bob Barr came to our show out here in Vegas the other night, and he was wonderful to talk to, and he's closer. At least he actually wants smaller government,
right? And
maybe that's all you need. And Ron Paul was also there with that,
right?
You know,
he may be the guy I end up voting for. I'm not a fan of some of the stuff that he does, but you know what? Look, I don't need the perfect candidate. I just need somebody. Usually, in the last election, I was a one point guy. I needed you to understand what the world was facing with Islamic terror, but I can't do it now. You've got Russia, you've got Iran, you've got Islamic radicals, you're tanking the dollar, our economy is on the edge. They're talking about nationalizing our financial institutions, nationalizing transportation. GM and the big three, they're too big to fail as well. Free speech with a fairness doctrine being including being expanded to the internet, and then nobody's doing anything on energy. Good God Almighty, where is somebody that can help us?
I know, and it's you know, I always want to go back to the Jerome Horowitz theory of government. You know, Jerome Horowitz, better known as Curly Howard of the Three Stooges. Jerome Horowitz would be given a choice. Mo Howard would say to him, pick two, and hold out his fingers. And then Curly would pick two, and no matter which two fingers he picked, he always got poked in the eye. As long as you pick two, you are Jerome Horowitz.
All right.
You are Curly Howard.
Okay, then help me out on this, because I hope to be sending somebody out to cover this convention with Ron Paul in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Because I really, for the first time in my life, I am to the point where I cannot tell my children in 10 to 15 years from now, you know, if we all survive, that my fingerprints were on either two of these choices. I can't do it. So, but wait. When I read the blogs and everything else from, you know, the people who are, you know, involved with the Ron Paul convention and everything, I want to go and listen to those people, but there's about 10% of that audience that scares the living bejesus out of me.
And what's the percentage of Obama and McCain people that scare the living bejesus out of you?
Well, Obama people, 80%.
Okay.
McCain people, because, you know, they're all like, they're not really active. They're just, most of them are asleep. You know, they don't really scare me.
So, so the Ron Paul people aren't doing that bad then, are they? With 10% nuts.
Yeah, but like crazy nuts. Like
I know. You're going to have that.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's your percentage in the general population when you walk down to Starbucks to get your cappuccino? What percentage of people in that Starbucks do you consider to be dangerous, crazy people?
Dangerous, in Starbucks, 100%.
Okay. And
Dunkin' Donuts, maybe 3%.
3%.
Yeah.
Okay. So 10% is not that crazy, that out of line.
Sure.
It's okay.
Sure.
You're going to have a few nuts, and you know, I want to just tell you, Glenn. Every night at the show in Vegas, people come up to me and talk about me going on your show.
Yeah.
And I think to many people, you and I might be in that 10%.
Oh, no. Oh, no. The people
on Glenn Beck show, man. You guys are nuts.
I know that. I know. I walk into Starbucks and everybody's like, oh, I'm really uncomfortable now. I mean, I know my place in the world.
Okay,
yeah.
As long as you know that when you look at those blogger nuts, they're looking right back at you, is what I'm saying.
Okay. So
I think you have to go, you know, the best thing about Obama was the lack of cynicism. The fact that I actually had friends. In the last 2 elections, I didn't have any friends who actually liked Kerry or Gore.
Right.
They just hated Bush.
How do they
feel? And it was
feel?
an entire party about hate. With Obama, even though I don't agree, there are at least people who actually like him, and that makes me happy because it's a little less cynicism in the world, and I believe that's always good.
But I hate to be a cynic. I hate to be a cynic here. But have you listened to what he's saying? I mean, I know you are a small government guy. When you get down to the nuts and bolts of what he's talking about, good God Almighty, you want to talk about change?
Hey,
communism is a change.
All I can say is a drowning man will grab a snake. I was just trying to find one little good thing about that. You don't have to convince me that we should not go bigger government and more, because when we get down to smaller government, you know, I'm going to want to go smaller than you. When we actually get a libertarian in office and the whole thing goes smaller and smaller and smaller, you know, you and I end up having a discussion where you say to me, do you really want to get rid of public schools?
Right.
And I go, yeah, Glenn, I really do.
Oh, no, Penn, I'm with you on that.
Okay,
I really am.
good.
You know what? I'd like to have you back because I'd like to have a conversation on this very thing again because I think we just differ on how small the government. I'm a little closer, I think, to our founding fathers, or at least some of them that said just to the point before it collapses. Well, I have a feeling you're at the collapse.
You and I will get to that point, and then I'll argue for anarcho-capitalism. Okay, but I'll probably lose, and that's fine.
Wow. All right, Penn, thanks a lot. Now.